All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Warriors Daily. It does appear this is just my assumption. This is just my opinion here. It feels like Lauri Markkanen to Golden State is just not going to happen. And if it does, it would be something that maybe happen next summer. It just really appears like Lauri Markkanen will not end up with the Golden State Warriors, which sucks because I think a 25-point per game, 24-point per game score, three-level score would help out this team immensely. But it is what it is. Obviously, they lost out on Paul George, and you guys freaking hated the Kendrick Perkins, Brandon Ingram trade idea yesterday. So we have two new ones. Um, they're just not needle movers. I don't know. I'm getting to that point in the Warriors offseason where the DeAnthony Melton, Kyle Anderson, these moves were great. Buddy Hield, I think these were phenomenal moves. But unless somebody can take that leap, Andrew Wiggins getting back to championship form, Jonathan Kuminga continuing to develop into a star wing in the NFL, in the NBA. If Jonathan Kuminga can keep taking these steps like we saw last season, yes. If B-Pod, can take that step, he had a great rookie season. If TJD can take a step, if Moses Moody ever steps out onto the court, Mr. Steve Kerr, like Golden State's a really talented roster, but I don't know if Steph Curry and Draymond Green are enough. Everyone wants to run back last year's roster. I think that's a huge mistake, but I guess, at the same time, they picked up three dudes. They lost Klay Thompson. It's not the same roster, but as far as star caliber players, it kind of is. Anyways, we're going to talk about Cedi Osman and Gordon Hayward in today's video and a little bit of other stuff. But before we do, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for Daily Dubs content. Try and get this video to 100 likes. That would be greatly appreciated by me. Folks, I'm not trying to win 46 games again. I'm not trying to be in the play-in tournament in general, but I get it. You got to be patient. Steph Curry, Draymond Green, they're still, really talented. Steph Curry's still Steph Curry, Dre's still Dre. But like I said, man, Wiggins needs to get back to finals form, or Jonathan Kuminga needs to turn into like a legitimate star guy. Otherwise, I don't know how much higher this team ceiling really is this season. Like I said, I don't really think Gordon Hayward moves the needle. I don't really think Cedi Osman moves the needle. But you would need to have players like this if somebody does take that star leap. I'm thinking back a couple of years ago, like Otto Porter Jr., right? Otto Porter Jr. was huge in that finals run. So Gordon Hayward, this is I got these from Bleacher Report here. This was just like Warriors minimum contracts to pursue as late NBA free agency starts. This is an article from Zach Buckley. But here's what he had to say about Gordon Hayward. While there are arguments to be made for Golden State getting younger and more athletic, those traits are seldom found in the bargain bin. What might still linger in the clearance section, though, is an overlooked veteran like Gordon Hayward. Yes, he has a frightening injury history behind him, and no, he's nowhere near the player he was at his peak. Still, the veteran swingman offers a plug-and-play blend of awareness, instincts, and dribble, pass, shoot skill set required to have success in this system. He isn't topped 55 games since 2018-2019, but he has generally played solid ball within this stretch. His averages over the past 5 seasons include 15.4 points, 5 rebounds, 3.8 assists, not to mention a tidy 47.5% from the field, 38.5% from downtown, and 82.3% shooting slash from the free throw line. If he's amenable, I can never say this freaking word. If he's amenable to a minimum deal, then he should also be open to an appropriately sized role. If Golden State went into this with plans of him serving in a complementary role player capacity and not even entertaining ideas of him recapturing a all-star form, this could work. Now, I think Gordon Hayward's a really good player. I think when he's healthy, that's just the big thing. When/if he's going to be healthy. But like I said just a minute ago, this kind of does remind me a little bit Otto Porter Jr. I actually have no idea what Otto's really even up to anymore in the NBA. Otto's had just a completely injury-riddled NBA career. And he comes over to Golden State and he helps them win a freaking championship. So, I'm not crazy on injury, former veteran stars. But in a case like this, like Gordon Hayward still is very efficient with the basketball. I mean, those are really good statistics. 15, 5, and 4 48 from the field, 39 from downtown, 82% from the free throw line. He's proven veteran in the league. I do think he would be good as a low-end role player on the Warriors next season. But just once again, I don't think he's really a needle mover. But I have to continue to reiterate this. B-Pod keeps getting better. That's the thought. That's the hope. Jonathan Kuminga keeps getting better. That's the thought. That's the hope. Moses Moody, TJD, et cetera, et cetera. Andrew Wiggins trying to get back to what he was. All these new role players that you picked up in free agency. Having a guy like Gordon Hayward for when you do get into the playoffs and you are trying to compete for an NBA Finals, I do think a guy like him would help you out a freaking lot. OKC blackballed him last year. All right, that's just a fact. Now, finally, we got Cedi Osman. I've always liked Cedi Osman. I thought he was just very consistent, very reliable at doing all the small stuff right. But here's what Zach had to say about him. Wing versatility is a need for every modern NBA team. The Warriors are no exception, and that's without accounting for the possibility of sacrificing a wing or two in a potential Lauri Markkanen trade. Cedi Osman fits that description, and even if his versatility is more of the jack of all trades, master of none variety, it still allows him to make an impact in myriad of ways. He's a tireless hustler, a savvy off-ball mover, and an increasingly reliable outside shooter, albeit one who doesn't launch long-range shots at high volume. He processes reads quickly. That sentence doesn't make sense. He processes reads quickly enough to operate in a read and react offense, and he's a threat in the open court. If nothing else, he'd be an insurance policy in case Golden State needs to fill spot minutes along the front court. Just very similar to Gordon Hayward, except not as good as Gordon Hayward. Even more of a role player. Obviously, Gordon coming out of college, being with Utah the first couple of seasons, like he was like a freaking star. Cedi Osman, it's just always been a consistent, reliable spot starter if need be. Can do all of the little things right, but as he says, master of none. That sounds so shitty, but this would be a move that I would like. He's only 29 years old. Last season, 72 games, only 3 starts with the Spurs, 17.6 minutes per game, 7 points per game, 2.5 rebounds, about 2 assists. He's a career 36% three-point shooter. Last year, on over 3 attempts per game, he made 39% of them. I do like the idea in theory. Once again, just don't really think it's much of a needle mover. But this would be, both of these two players would be interesting. He was kind of mentioning this or alluding to this in that article. They would be really interesting if you were to actually trade for Lauri Markkanen and you're getting rid of Andrew Wiggins or you're getting rid of Jonathan Kuminga or some of these wings. Then I would 100,000% sign either of these two guys. But it feels lackluster, right? So let me know what you guys are thinking. Would you sign Gordon Hayward or Cedi Osman, or are you just set on Lauri? Do you just want to run it back? Let me know if you're the freaking GM of the Dubs. What are you doing right now? All right. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.